Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be talking about the Washington Commanders defense and why I think they can be special in 2023. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Hit that like button and that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. And just so you guys know, this is a pre-recorded video, recording this on June 17th. So if anything changes or if something I say is outdated, that is why. So I really think the Washington Commanders had a really underrated season last year in terms of how their defense produced. And, some of that, the offense helped by, increasing the time of possession, but they also didn't help at times with the amount of turnovers they had. You look at their, rankings, they were ranked third in yards per game in the NFL, and they were pretty close with the top two teams. Only 4 yards a game behind the 49ers and about 3 yards a game behind the Eagles. And the next closest team to them was the Jets, and that was about 6.5 yards per difference, about 6.5 yards a game of a difference. Points-wise, they were worse, but still pretty solid. They were number 7 in the NFL. So overall, that averages out to around 5. So they were pretty good. Not pretty good, according to the stats, very good. And the offense was really holding them back. And I think they will be better this year. Maybe not statistically better, but I think this defense overall is better than it was last year for a few different reasons. And we're going to get into that in a second. One, and I don't have a visual for this, we don't have William Jackson III for the first few games this season, and he was awful last year. I don't even need to say it. The amount of penalties, some of his injuries, just lack of effort and just getting burnt all the time. He was awful. Horrible signing by the Commanders. When it first happened, I was happy about it, but then quickly soured on him once we heard the reports on him during camp. So not having him there is going to help out a ton. Another thing is, Cam Curl, he missed, 4-ish games last year. Defense really struggled when he's out, so hopefully he can stay healthy. We also had, some other injuries on the defense. Nothing major, but actually we did have some. Chase Young out for basically the year. Vedera Mathis out for a while. And, we had Cole Holcomb out for most of the year, and, Cody Barton's going to be replacing him. So that's kind of the injury excuses out of the way. Let's talk about why I think they're going to be better and why I think they're going to be special this year. I think they have a chance to be an elite defense in this league. So one thing is Forbes. They brought in a first-round corner. A lot of fans, including myself, wanted them to draft a corner in the first round. And, I think a lot of the corners would have helped Gonzalez, Banks, or Forbes. They decided to take Forbes, and so far he's looked really good in mini camp and OTA. So that bodes well for how he's going to look this year. But got to keep it going in training camp and the preseason than the regular season. But if he can create a lot of turnovers or lock down that side, I think that'll really help out the Washington Commanders defense, because that was one of the things they were lacking last year. Let's see if it shows the turnovers. I do not believe it shows the turnovers, but that is something they definitely were lacking last year. I guess we can go to turnovers here. Yeah, definitely something they were lacking. So turnover differential, we were -5. We were close to bottom of the league. Only 5 teams were worse than us. So part of that was offense, but part of that was defense as well. We only had 9 interceptions and 9 forced fumbles, so 18. If you look at that, that's definitely below average. Let's see where it is. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 teams below us, and the amount of takeaways we created and the amount of giveaways we were. Let's see. We were one of the worst there too. Actually around the same. So both the offense and defense were bad in terms of turnovers. The offense turned the ball over too much, and the defense didn't force enough turnovers. So that needs to change next year. Hopefully, let's see how many interceptions we threw. We threw 16 interceptions. Hopefully that number can be down to 13. Hopefully 13 or lower. And that is an improvement of 3. And then the amount of fumbles we had. How many fumbles did we have? We had about 9. Maybe you can lower that by 1 or 2. That doesn't seem like that bad of a number, honestly. So that saves you, let's say, 4. And then on defense, if you can turn that interception number to, let's say, 15 instead of what it was, 9 or maybe even 13, that's a huge upgrade, and it saves you a bunch of turnovers. Like we can't be at that spot where we're at negative. We have to at least be net neutral like the Buffalo Bills, but probably need to be better than that if we want to compete like the Giants were above that, the Eagles, the Cowboys, all teams that made the playoffs in our divisions, while we were -5. You don't need to be plus 13 like the 49ers were, but if you can be plus 3, plus 4, you're in a really, really good spot. And I think Forbes will help with that, and I think Chase Young will as well. I think Chase Young coming back will help out this team, even if he is not elite. If Chase Young is not elite this year, it'll still be an upgrade over what we had last year at the end, because he is really, really good in the run game. And if you think about it, when he did play in 2021, had a sack and a half, but also, he got super unlucky. There was like 1 or 2 times where his sack got called back because of a penalty from someone else that didn't really affect the play. Also, not Cole Holcomb. I'm trying to think. Against Matt Ryan, he basically had a sack. He pushed him down, and they called the worst roughing the passer I've ever seen. And that was another BS sack. So really, he should have had like 3.5 at least sacks by the midway point of the season. That's not good. I'm not trying to give excuses for him, but that's on pace for like 7 sacks. And if Chase Young were to do that this year, then that would be disappointing. But it would be an upgrade over what he did last year, or what we had last year. So that's like kind of the floor, and the ceiling is a all-pro player or a Pro Bowl player. Let's say the ceiling for this year is like a 10-11 sack guy that gets gets him a Pro Bowl appearance. I don't think all-pro is in the works yet. Maybe next year, not this year, but I'm excited for Chase Young to see what he can do. A little nervous, but also excited. And I think that'll help out the defense and maybe make some more game-changing plays. Maybe force some bad throws that lead to interceptions for Emmanuel Forbes, or force some fumbles as well. We didn't really have that from the D-line last year. So that's another thing why I think they're going to be better. Another thing, you got Quan Martin in there. I think this secondary is really in a really good spot. You got Cam Curl, Derek Forrest, Quan Martin, Benjamin St. Juste, Emmanuel Forbes, I think I said Kendall Fuller, and yeah, just a really, you got Percy Butler and Jeremy Reeves as well. You got a really good room there. And I'm excited to see what Quan Martin can do. A lot of versatility there. The depth is amazing on the honestly, the depth is really good in this defense. Besides linebacker, and if Khalid Hudson plays well, then that proves me wrong there in terms of the depth. But the depth at D-line is good. You got some okay players at D end, behind Chase and Montez. You got some really good backups at D tackle and Ferdinand Mathis and John Ridgeway. And then at safety, you see the backups there. And then cornerback, you got either Kendall Fuller or Quan Martin. One of those guys is going to be on the bench at times, and that's huge for you. So yeah, the depth is much improved on the defense. Also bring back Ferdinand Mathis, or not bring him back, but he's healthy and he didn't play at all last year. Besides a few minutes, he played like one possession, before he got hurt. So him being back will definitely help out the Commanders. And, he's going to be a solid rotational guy. We'll get some snaps and we'll make, Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne's life a little bit easier. Maybe they play 5-10% fewer snaps, but they'll be fresher. And even though they had high-quality snaps last year, at times they were, tired. So this year, I think their snaps will be a little bit higher quality. And Ferdinand Mathis will be able to help too. And John Ridgeway will get a full season of him as well. And yeah, that's kind of it. Let's see, anything there? Nope. And yeah, I think this defense is going to be really good. Even without Chase Young balling out, I think this defense will be like it was last year. But if Chase Young's able to play like he did in the second half of his rookie year, I think this defense can be top 3 in most categories, maybe even the best defense or second best defense in football behind the 49ers, especially if Forbes and Chase Young are balling. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace.